Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Lexi Jong, and today we are going over my monthly repurchase review. So what that means is I'm going to go over the items that I purchased and did a video on in the month of August. And would I repurchase them again? What are my thoughts on those? And I'll give you any updates. Then at the end of the video, I'm also going to go over some of my current favorite products, whether they were purchased now or at another time. We are starting off with the Suqqu Homare series, and I purchased 5 of these brushes. I purchased the eye brushes to test out, and I purchased one of the cheek brushes and the highlight brush. And they do have additional brushes. I think there are 8 total in the line, and I love these. They have moved up the list to some of my favorite brushes of all time. They are incredibly, incredibly soft. The softest brushes I own. I do not have a huge Fude collection, but they are just so soft. I absolutely love them. The best thing about them is even though they are so soft, they pick up the product well and they disperse it properly. A lot of times you end up with brushes that are so soft, but the application of the product is so soft that it doesn't always work, particularly with eyeshadows and things. These work great. I've tested them with a variety of different brands. I've been using them for, I don't know, it's been a while now, definitely, more than a month at this point, but I love them. I would like to pick up more of these, later on in the fall. So definitely fantastic. Next up, we have the 2 Dior Quints that I picked up. This here is soft cashmere, and then we also have Tutu. I love these. I love the formula for these new Quints. I do recommend using a primer with them because I have had a few creasing issues without a primer. With a primer, they last all day without fail. I've had no issues at all with any primers. They blend beautifully. They go on like a dream. This is quickly becoming my favorite eyeshadow formula right now. So this is definitely one of my favorites. I really want to pick up some more of these. I'm trying to bide my time because I have so many eyeshadows, but I love them. Soft cashmere. This is gorgeous. It is a little bit reminiscent of Nude Dip with these lighter shades here, but I think it's a little bit more versatile because you have some different finishes to this quint than in Nude Dip, which are basically all kind of a frosty shade. And you also have, a little bit, the undertones are different. So this one definitely has a little bit cooler shades and warmer shades mixed in, whereas Nude Dip is really more all the same undertone. Tutu is also gorgeous. You have this beautiful bluish purple shade, and this one here is going to be more of a deeper plum. And these other 3 shades are going to be more of a warmer toned, rosy shade. And I think having the mix of the warm and cool tones, again, really helps a lot. Next up, we have some things from Chantecaille, and I haven't tried everything that I purchased from the Sylvie sale, but I have tried some of those items. So we'll go through the ones I've tried already. This is the Le Chrome Luxe Duo in Piazza San Marco, and you have this gorgeous kind of purpley gray shade, and then this soft, shimmery shade with a touch of lavender in it. I love this combination. I think it is really beautiful. I love purple eyeshadow. I think it really helps. I have brown eyes, so it really helps kind of bring out the color in there. And I love the formula on these. I'm wearing another one of the Le Chrome Luxe Duos right now, and you can see how shimmery and soft these shadows are, and they blend and perform seamlessly. I have not had any creasing issues or, fading or anything with these shadows. They are great. Other things from Chantecaille that I picked up, this is the Real Skin Plus Face and Eye Stick in 0W. I'll put this one on my hand. This is basically, one of those concealers that, for me, I like to use it more as a spot concealer and just kind of blend it out with a brush instead of using foundation. I don't like using it under my eyes. It's actually a very thick consistency, So I think under the eyes, it can look a little dry, and I've got fine lines in there, and it kind of accumulates. So for me, I prefer using it more, as a spot concealer. It's also really nice to pair with either the Just Skin or the Future Skin foundations. I purchased new jars of them, but they're not they're not new to me. But they have very light coverage. So if you do some spot concealing with this or with the stick, and then you use these foundations, you get a really flawless makeup application. It looks beautiful, especially since the Future Skin, you really don't look like you have anything on your skin. So it's pretty incredible what your skin can look like with a combination of these products. So I really like all of those. I would repurchase that stick again, and I did repurchase the Future Skin, so that is definitely a plus for me as well. Other new items to me were the Pat McGrath. This is the Lip Fetish Divinal Lip Shine, and this shade here is Temptress, which is the soft red shade. I am loving all of these Divinal lip shines. So I hope you can see the luster on that. They definitely have a nice, shiny look to them on the lips. They're comfortable to wear, they last, and I think the colors, they are fantastic. So this one here is Nude Venus. It's a great everyday kind of balmy shade. Really love it. It's peachy. It's very similar though to the lip balm in, what is that one? Blow Up. So here, let me show you Blow Up, which is also new to me. So you can see that they are pretty similar. Nude Venus is a little bit deeper, but when you build up Blow Up, you're gonna get a pretty similar shade to it. Blow Up is a touch peachier than Nude Venus, which is maybe a little pinker. And the third shade that I purchased is Belle Amour, which is a nice bright rosy pink. It's kind of like a medium rose shade. I'm loving all of those, wearing them all. Next up, we have the Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson palette. This is the Tiny Marvels palette, and I really like it. I think it is something really fun to play around with. I absolutely love this Scarab shade. I just wish it lasted a little bit better on me than it does. The other shadows I haven't really had any, issues with, but the Scarab is the duochrome or multi-chrome shade, and it really does kind of fade on me even with a primer. I haven't tried any glitter glue, so I think, you might need something like glitter glue to get that one to last a little bit better. But overall, everything has held up really well, and I like it. I think it's a fun palette, so I would repurchase this. And then we have the Kosas bronzer in Light. This is the soft bronze, and I like this bronzer. I think if you are looking for something with more of a satin finish, this is a great choice. It is a little shimmery, so I like it. It's the end of the summer already, kind of fall technically almost. So I feel like it's more of a summer bronzer, so I'm not sure how much I'll use it right now. I would repurchase it, and it's definitely something I would plan on using a lot during those warmer summer months. Another Kosas item that I purchased at the same time, I don't have up here, is actually their new deodorant, and I would not repurchase that. So I actually use natural deodorants, so it has nothing to do with the fact that it's a natural deodorant, and I know sometimes they don't perform as well as, more traditional deodorants. It's actually just that one, it just doesn't work for me at all. So I like the fact that it has AHAs and everything in there, because I feel like that can actually help prevent like ingrown hairs and things like that in your armpit. But the actual deodorant aspect of it does not work for me. So I will try it again when it's a little bit cooler, but I wore it for 3 straight weeks, and it doesn't work as well as other natural deodorants that I've tried. So aside from that, I also have issues with the packaging. It's in a squeeze tube, and it has the typical deodorant ball at the end, like down in this section. But my ball, it doesn't stay hydrated, so it won't roll on its own. I have to squeeze the tube really hard to start seeing product ooze up from the side. before it will start to roll. And it's just, you know, it's still a newer tube, so I can squeeze it, but as it's getting down, I know it's going to be even harder to get out, and I should not have to work that hard to get the product out of the package. So I don't know if that was just a faulty one, but overall, the product itself, I don't like either. Next up, we have the By Terry CC blush in number 1, Rosy Flash. And I think this is nice, but it doesn't wow me. I can't even get it out. I don't like the pump because I have to press really hard to get it out, and sometimes it just kind of squirts everywhere. I like the way it looks once I have it on. It's very thin, so you know, you're gonna kind of shear it out a lot and build up, which is fine. It's just the color's okay, the product's okay, but I don't love it, so I wouldn't repurchase that. Next on the list, we have the Viseart Petite Pro in Midsummer. And I really do like this palette. I also picked up the Paris Edit, and I prefer the Paris Edit. But I like both of them. I would repurchase both of them. Oh, I can't get this tray off right now. Here we go. But the Paris Edit, you know, for just a few, you know, like $10 more, you're basically going to be getting a whole nother row of colors, and I just think it's a better deal, and I like having the color variety. So I definitely like both of these, would repurchase both of them, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Paris Edit. Next up, we have the Guerlain Mad Eyes collection. These are the contrast shadow duos. I like all 3 of these, would repurchase them again. I haven't gotten to use them a ton more since I was testing them out, just because I've been testing out so many other eye products, but I really, really do like them, and I can see myself using them a lot in the coming months. So these are great. They also work fantastic for eyeliner, so I really like them. The Guerlain Mad Eyes mascara, I have the brown, and I like it, but I don't love it, so I probably won't repurchase it again. I think it's a very nice everyday brown mascara. I love brown mascara for everyday. It just doesn't really do a whole lot. So, you know, it really does work great for a light everyday look. So I'm kind of on the fence as to whether I get it again or not, but I'll probably try something else first. I would not recommend this for, you know, something if you're looking for volumizing lashes and things like that. Even though the claims say that it does that kind of thing, it doesn't seem to do anything to me, in my opinion. The Guerlain Mad Eyes Brow Framer Gel, and this is the shade Moy number 2. And I like the actual product that's in here, but I'm still not a fan of the applicator. It is this style, and you twist the bottom, you get the product out, and I just feel like it can get a little clumpy looking at times, and I do run through it with a spoolie usually, which I think at the end the final result looks good, but they should include a spoolie in the product in that case, in my opinion. But overall, I think it's okay, but I'd still prefer the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gels, so I will not repurchase this. Next, we have the Suqqu Blush Palette. This is from the Autumn Winter 2020 collection. And I really love this palette, so I would definitely repurchase it. The more I've used it, I have found that sometimes, you know, all of the shades they will go on, they're actually very pigmented, which surprised me. But, you know, some of them can be a little bit harder to blend out at times. So you want to make sure you go in with a light hand at first, just because they're a lot more pigmented than I initially expected. And they're not a super powdery blush, so you're not really gonna like brush it away. So just be careful with application, but I love it. I would definitely repurchase this again. I have heard in some of the comments that some of you have mentioned that the regular line blushes are a different formula and are even nicer. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying those in the future. The new holiday collection from them is very appealing to me, so I'm looking forward to picking up some items from there. And then this lipstick, number 117, Ginchion. This is from the same collection, and build that up. I absolutely love this formula. It's the Moisture Rich lipstick formula. I love this color. It's, you know, more of a plummy wine shade with a bit of silver sparkle in there. I don't find it feeling gritty at all. It has a very thick, balmy texture. You might feel a little grit upon application, like when you're actually touching the product, but I don't feel it on my lips at all. So I love these. Next up, we have the Chanel Splendor A Audace. This is number 306, and I absolutely love this. The formula on here is fantastic. They're creamy, buttery shadows. They are pigmented, and I love the color story. I think it's very versatile. I absolutely love it. So definitely would repurchase this. This one actually came from my friend Julia at Julia B's Beauty, but I would have bought it on my own as well. Next up, we have the Chanel Fall Winter collection. This is number 362, Candor A Provocation. And then we have 364, Candor A Seduction. And I don't really love these palettes on my eyes. I enjoy playing around with them. I think, you know, I don't know if I would repurchase these again. Like, I enjoy playing with them, and I think the formula on them is really nice, and I'm trying to like them more, but you know, they're just not something I'm going to reach for. So in that sense, I wouldn't buy them again, but you know, I would buy them for playing purposes, but I don't love them on my eyes. I also picked up the two eyeliners from the collection, and this is Romance, and then we have, so Romance is number 955, and then we also have 959 Psyche, which is more of this like berry burgundy shade. And I do like both of the eyeliners. You know, I don't love them on their own. I like mixing them in and smudging them out. I like Psyche a little bit more than Romance. I think the more popular one is actually Romance, but I prefer the deeper one here. I just think it looks really nice smudged out, and I like to mix it with a little brown. So I would repurchase the eyeliners. From the collection, I also picked up number 494 Attraction in the Rouge Coco line, and I think this is a fun color to play with. You know, it's kind of a burgundy-ish shade with a little bit of brown in there, but when you see it, you know, it has more of that brown look with a red undertone on your lips. And I think it's a nice look for the fall trend, and I like playing with it, so I would get that again. I also picked up both of the Rouge Coco Flashes. This one here is Lust, which is a soft brown shade, and I like it. So I would pick this one up again. It's definitely more of a like nude brown shade. There isn't a whole lot of, you know, pink or anything in there. So if you're looking for a light brown lipstick to kind of play around with this brown lips trend, and you want something a little bit more wearable, you might want to take a look at the Tamarind shade from the new Chantecaille collection instead. So I'm not going to include that in this month's stuff because, again, that was kind of all the way at the very, very end of the month. So we'll move that into September. I also picked up the Rouge Coco Flash in Flushed, which is this really shimmery, peachy shade. Really like it, but I have it downstairs on my desk because I've been wearing it quite a bit. So I would definitely pick that one up. It is, I believe, a limited edition shade. So if you're interested in that, you know, I wouldn't wait too long for that one. I also picked up some more items from Sisley. So I picked up, well, this one was free for National Lipstick Day. This was the Fido Lip Twist in number 18, and it is kind of a nice cherry red, and I like it. It's my first matte Fido Lip Twist, but I am enjoying it. So it's definitely one that I would purchase on its own. When I made that purchase, I also picked up another one of the Fido lip glosses, and this is number 7, Venus. Really like this. This is a nude shade, and you know, they're my favorite lip gloss right now, so it's definitely a repurchase. I also picked up a few of these. These are the Fido Ombre eyeshadows that came out last summer, so I added a few more. And I like the colors, I like the formula, they go on nicely. They are not the best eyeshadow formula that I've used. If you're trying to decide, you know, between this or something else, honestly, I would go with the Dior Quints, but I do really like them. And there are a few more colors that I would like to pick up. I don't plan on getting, you know, the whole collection, but I still want that khaki green and the topaz shade. So I do plan on picking more of those up. I like them. The more metallic shades, like this sparkling purple one, it has a bit more of a metallic texture to it when you actually feel it. But, you know, overall, I like them and would repurchase them. I plan on repurchasing them. But if you are looking for the best eyeshadow for your buck, this is not going to be it. I also picked up at the beginning of the month some other Chantecaille brushes, and this T11, I used it today for my foundation, but it has become, you know, probably my #1 foundation brush right now. I really, really enjoy it. I think it really excels with thinner formulations, and it's thick enough or dense enough that you can use it with a thicker formulated foundation as well. But overall, I really love this brush. So for me, definitely a repurchase. I picked up some other eye brushes. I have some more. I can't find everything right now. I think some of it might be being washed, but some of the T-Series eyeshadow brushes, really like those. Definitely would repurchase these since they are undyed goat hair. You can use them with cream products, which was my purpose for purchasing them in the first place. They work great, so I really like them. I also purchased the GSN 5 and the Chantecaille Z4 and what is it, the Z2 or Z3, the highlight brush, whichever number that is. I think it's the Z2. But all of them are brushes that I enjoy and would repurchase. The GSN 05, oh, here it is. It's kind of a similar shape to the T11, but it's a little bit smaller. And you know, this works great for using like the Chantecaille Real Skin Plus Face and Eye Stick when I'm kind of smearing that out. But if I had to pick between the two, I'd go with the T11. I love it. Definitely a favorite. So if I were choosing between the two foundation brushes, I would pick the T11 every time. That sums up my thoughts on all of the new items from my August purchases. And let's go over some other favorite products that I have. First up, foundations that I've really been enjoying. This Cocondo Aqua, I have been using it nonstop. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I have shade 002, and it's, I think, a touch too dark for me. If I use a light layer, you can't tell. And that's usually how I do it. But, you know, as things get a little cooler and not really going so much for like a bronzier look or anything like that, I'm not really getting as much sun, I have found that I'm already starting to mix in the Chanel Rosy light drops in here. And it doesn't have to be this. I was actually planning on testing out some other items to mix in as well. I have a sample of the Chanel Le Beige and Sun Kiss. I figure I'd see what that's like. I don't remember if that's the lighter one or the darker one, but you know, a by Terry CC serum or something like that. So I'll be adding stuff in to lighten it a little bit. Right now I'm using the Chanel Rosy light drops. I've done that a few times and I really like it. It doesn't change the texture at all. Gives you just a little bit more glow. So love this. Might end up purchasing it in a lighter shade. We'll see what other foundations come out first. The other foundation I've still been using a lot is the Westman Atelier foundation stick in Atelier N, and still really like this one and been using this quite a bit. So I've been using this or the Cocondo Aqua, and once in a while I have been using the Chantecaille Just Skin. So I'll use the Just Skin when I really don't feel like doing anything. So this is technically a tinted moisturizer, but I actually find it provides a little more coverage than the Future Skin. So I've been using these products as well. But again, the Cocondo Aqua has been my major foundation that I've been using this month. I don't really have a favorite blush this month. I've been using the Suqqu blush palette quite a bit. I've been using a lot of the Chantecaille Philanthropy cheek shades. I have been using cream blushes a lot, like the Westman Atelier Baby Sticks and my Ritual Defee Nectar Bombs. So I've been using those products quite a bit. They're the ones I've been reaching for the most right now. Really loving them. For highlights, I've been using the Ritual Defee Highlight and Ice Bow quite a bit. So I think you can see I've actually kind of indented in there now. So it's really a nice formula. Other highlights that I have been loving, of course, the Guerlain Meteorites Pearl Dust Palette. Still use this one, you know, several times a week. And the Viseart Torche Lumières, I've been using those a lot as well. And then various highlights, you know, but those are the ones I've been using the most. Bronzer, the one I use the most is the Gucci bronzer in Fair, and absolutely love that. I use that one pretty much every day, so it's definitely a favorite. Eyeshadow, been trying out so many different eyeshadows. There hasn't been too much else that I have been able to kind of test out. I did just remember a purchase though that I didn't talk about, so let me get to that. The other purchase I forgot to talk about is these Homare Moonlit Violet, and this is definitely a favorite. So I love this. I've been reaching for this whenever I'm not testing something else out. I love the shades, and yeah, so this is definitely a repurchase for me, and it, you know, I absolutely love this one. So great product. Other favorite items that I've been using, the Sisley Phyto Poudre Compact in #1 Rosy. I have pretty much been using this, you know, every day for face powder. I really love the formula. It gives a little bit of a matte look, but it's not a flat matte, it's more of a satin matte. And you can't really tell it's there. It has some soft blurring, but it just kind of gives a nice finished look. And I use it sometimes for setting powder, sometimes for finishing powder. I really love it. So this is definitely become a favorite. And then lip products, let's face it, I wear a lot of different lip products every day. I love lip products. I change them up 3 or 4 times a day. I have been loving all of the ones that I just got, the Sisley Phyto Glosses, the Pat McGrath Divinal Lip Shines. I have also been wearing my Guerlain Sheer Shine lipsticks, and the formula on those, I like them, but they're a little bit drier and grittier than some of these other formulas. So I still like them, but I don't love that formula. I prefer their satin finish texture of their lipsticks. Been wearing my Chantecaille Lip Cheeks a lot, and a little bit of the Hydrating Lip Tints. That is more on those like no makeup days where I just want a little lip balm, but those are probably the lip products that I have been using the most, along with the Sisley Phyto Twist. Been using the shade 1 quite a bit. This is the nude shade, and obviously the ones I mentioned before, like the Chanel Cocoa Flushed shade, been wearing that one a ton as well. I think that sums up everything. Those have been my favorite products for the month of August. And I can't believe that August is already over and fall is coming. I'm not quite ready for that, but it's kind of a cool rainy day here today, so I'm already wearing long pants and long sleeves. But thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this video was helpful. And if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Please let me know down below in the comments what you have been loving this month and things that you are interested in seeing for the future. And I hope to see you in my next video. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Stay safe and healthy.